the original crew today on a Greg Cote Tuesday. My wife, loving angel that she is, does not think I should be here today. Stugotz, you need to turn off something that's echoing on your microphone.
There is an echo. I'm not certain I should just start pushing buttons here.
That's
I will,
it. Do that.
But
Start
yes.
pushing things.
But
Unplug
there is an
too,
echo.
if you can.
Yeah, let me see if I can fix it. Hold on.
It's nice to have you here. It is nice to see you.
You too.
As I was saying, my wife doesn't think I should be here. We will see if I can get through today's show. We'll see if I can get through this segment. I told her I needed the laughter. I badly needed the laughter.
We're off to a great start.
Well, this is not comforting news that I'm about to share, and I understand that my energy is down, and I want to apologize to the audience for being in and out of here physically over the last couple of weeks, and I want to apologize to you guys in the audience for being out of here emotionally for the last year, the hardest year of my life, that culminated with the hardest thing of my life at 2 a.m. this morning. My little brother, my only sibling, my closest family member in a very small family that's very close, responsible for all the art around here, and, my best friend for 50 years, passed away last night at 2 a.m. I don't have a lot of experience with grief, but I have been grieving him for a year because when he was diagnosed more than a year ago, he's been steadily deteriorating since, and it's been brutally hard to watch a poison eat him up from the inside, and one of the biggest spirits I've ever seen consumed by illness. I will say that Jason Isbell wrote one of the greatest love songs I've ever heard about vampires, oddly enough. Juju, put it on the poll. Can one of the greatest love songs ever written be about vampires? But one of the lyrics is, and forgive me if I botch this, in the emotion of this: what if time running out were a gift? I'll work hard till the end of my shift. And the hospitals and the sickness, and basically I've worn one of those X-ray leaded vests for a year, just draped on me, walking around with something I never imagined that I would encounter. I was preparing for the death of my parents. So to have my father whisper to my brother last night, "We'll see you soon," was a special kind of heartbreaking, because I was just, this is inconceivable to me. It's something that I had never considered possible. But what I will tell everyone listening here, when you put a clock on it, because you hear all the time, right, about these things changing people and changing life perspectives, when you put a clock on it and you value the moments you get, because you don't know how many you're going to get in a way that's uncommonly present, what you get is the gift of gratitude that I have is for the last year I have spent, because it wasn't a sudden thudding finality of a car accident. I've spent the last year saying all the things, getting a chance to appreciate him and say goodbye and ask for forgiveness for the family stuff, and pour out my heart to him. And I will tell you that there was grace and freedom at 2 o'clock in the morning as I'm watching the monitors show the numbers going down, to be in his ear, like physically mouth to his ear, telling him that it was okay to go, that he was safe, that he didn't have a reason to be scared, and to see him stop suffering, and to see him peaceful amid the horror of that was a seismic and great beauty that I'll forever be grateful for. And so I'm thankful to be able to do this show with you guys in general. I'm thankful to be able to do this show for the people who listen to it. And I just want you to know, to the degree that this show or me haven't been myself for more than a year, it's because I've been hiding in the pain of this, and it's a hard way to do this. So I will try to do this with you guys today, and I will appreciate the laughter. I was thrilled when I came in and Greg Cote said, "Hey, first back in my day since May today."
It's a Tuesday.
Yeah. Of course. What do you expect? Tuesday.
Tuesday with the normal hosts. So, yeah, regular show.
That's what he does.
We've got Brad Williams and Lucy in the other room, and we'll bring them in a moment.
Should be easy to onboard them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are they still here?
They are still here. Billy's got
I believe Lucy left. For
Welcome
good,
back,
for
Billy.
good. Yeah, Lucy's gone.
for good, right?
Well, nice knowing you, Luce.
It was nice to come in today and see Stugotz at 8:40 smoking a heater in the parking lot and saying, "Hey, sorry about the way I parked, as I couldn't get out of my car because my parking space."
It's a terrible job. I had a foot on the other side. Dan had to squeeze in. I felt terrible. I mean,
Why didn't you just move the car?
I offered to move the car. I did. I did offer to move the car. Did I not? I offered.
I was already parked.
I know.
I saw something for the very first time. I saw a bucket right outside the studio door with a whole bunch of cigarette
Just
butts.
filled.
Dan's bucket, huh?
Overflowing with cigarettes.
This is like the shittiest way to copy the ending of Titanic. When Rose finally goes back to the boat and everyone's smiling and welcoming her, it's just Stugotz with a bad parking job, smoking heaters.
But
and Greg surprising you with, "Hey, I did my job today."
I regretted my decision as soon as I tried to park and couldn't get out of my car. Like I saw Stugotz. First of all, I thought to myself, why isn't he in the meeting, like talking about whatever things have to be discussed because I might not be here today? Nope, he's just outside smoking cigarettes. Are you preparing for your New York appearance? Like, did you guys talk at all yesterday about him going and doing WFAN at the end of this week?
So Mad Dog was on yesterday, and Stugotz was like in a very coy way asking Mad Dog if he needs to do prep for the show on Thursday and Friday, which was wild.
Yeah. I felt like Doggy was like, it's August. Just let it fly. Have some fun with Gio.
Are you
know?
okay? So you're hosting a local New York show. Are you watching any New York sports? Like, are you watching any Yankees or Mets games this week? Like, are you following
Watching
the Jets?
the Mets? Why would I be watching
Because
the Mets? The Jets don't play until Thursday.
You're hosting a local sports show in New York on a station that you want to work for.
Yeah, to Billy's point, you've
Beg to
been
work for
spoiled by this show. You actually have to prepare in that market.
We'll see.
I do think we should stop the show briefly and acknowledge what just happened.
Back in my days back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Tuesday.
think I speak for everyone that kind of rocked our world a little bit, and I didn't know. I mean, obviously, new stuff was going on. I didn't know till that very moment, but we're all pretty shell-shocked that the league would issue that memo about Damian Lillard. It's pretty unprecedented. And
Ridiculous, man.
It's honestly something that we've never seen before. And to be able to sit in front of these microphones and have to do a show under the weight of that is pretty unfair.
Can't work under these conditions, Dan. I'm sorry.
That memo, was it not just basically don't do that anymore, but you've already done it, and therefore
And Harden's actively doing it.
we're going to make a big show of we don't love that the players have this much power to control this stuff. You'll be disciplined next time, even though you've already done it. It seems like something that's very silly. And both Lillard and his agent would be like, okay, we won't say it anymore. We've already said it. If you want us to stop doing that because it's a bad look for your league, even though I don't think it's a bad look for your league to have the news stream for 2 months covered by the transaction or the possibility of the transaction, or your team might get the guy. I do wonder if the memo would have been different if he had offered 5 trade locations, whether they would have said anything to him. Because that way you just keep everybody in the game, and all you're doing is advertising all summer at a time that basketball doesn't get its advertising. I will say that I had a smile on my face next to my brother's deathbed because
That's a sentence.
I was sent. Wait till you hear what I'm about to read to you.
This could go anywhere at this point with how that started.
I don't know who Giannotti is, but Giannotti is being quoted on Stugotz and WFAN saying the following.
Gio.
Quote, that Stugotz is always sniffing around here when things are open. The day the newspaper article came out with Craig Carton leaving, I got a text message from Stugotz asking if I was close with Chris Olivero. Who is that?
The guy who runs WFAN.
Stugotz also said...
This Gio's got a motor mouth. I mean, Jesus.
Stugotz also said, this is in the quote, to Gio, because they cut a big deal over there with Meadowlark Media and he's making a lot of money,
Yeah.
that he would have worked here for free.
That's not exactly what I said. He's taking it way too far. I mean,
He was also quoted as saying you've been begging to work there.
That's not true either.
Exact quote.
What is true? Because you told us yesterday.
I've been a great employee. I mean, you're the guy abusing the
That's-
Meadowlark vacation policy. No. Jason Isbell wrote a song about Rick Pitino, huh?
I did read. I read that. I'm like, wait a minute. He's going to work in New York for free and not work for us for money. Something that does not get talked about enough when people talk about the magic of Pat Riley recruitment. This is from Sports Taxman on Twitter, so you can imagine what this is about. Do you know how much Damian Lillard saves in taxes by coming to Miami? You want to take a guess?
10 million.
20 million?
$21 million is what he ends up saving. Good job.
Thought I was high there.
Look, I know you.
Wow,
Yeah, Roy.
Tried to set it all up. I mean,
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
what the hell's going on in Oregon? I mean,
My guess was better for your story, better for your punchline. You got to guess low.
Stugotz has never gotten any good at that.
He
That's
guessed
why.
astronomically high.
Yes. He usually sabotages my ability to do that correctly by guessing so high as to make my. So he steals my punchline. This is what you're getting, Gio, when he gets to New York unprepared.
Can I ask a question about this New York thing? Because I've seen conflicting reports.
a lot
Oh,
of
Lord.
questions, man.
Yeah, so you told us yesterday that you originally agreed to Monday, Thursday, and Friday.
I did not say that. I said I was asked to do Monday, Thursday, and Friday. I agreed to do Thursday and Friday.
Well, it's interesting you say that because what I saw was that you had agreed to do Monday, Thursday, and Friday and then bailed on Monday and put them in a bad spot.
That's not true at all. I didn't put him in a bad spot. He asked me late last week. I said I don't think I could do Monday. I could do Thursday and Friday. Came back an hour later after thinking about it and said I'm not doing Monday.
Why do you play
I
that
said
game?
I have the text here,
Why
Billy.
do you always play that game?
Why
always
do you-
says he
I'll
has-
let you
let's see
know
the
when you
text.
know the answer.
Let's see the text.
I have
would
the
like
text here.
I would like to have access and
Here.
subpoena all your texts. to him.
Listen, I'm going to
When
hand
you-
it over to you confidently
do
because
that.
I know what I did. I mean, and that's when you know I'm not lying.
Dangerous game.
Like,
And,
here, I'm
I'll
offering
scroll
it
up.
up.
I'll scroll up because when you say he asked you, I'm sure if I go back and I just scroll up maybe 2 inches, I'll see a whole bunch of you asking him.
Have at it.
Will you shave for this appearance?
We'll see.
You're pressing a lot of buttons there.
Is he deleting stuff?
I don't know.
I'm not
what
doing
he's
anything.
doing.
I'm just getting it right. I'm getting it right there from my. I'm updating the software. I mean, 16.1. See if I could find Geo.
Updating the software.
He was
Here we
just
go.
very quickly
Hold on.
updating software.
No, let's go.
Would you like to update now? Yep.
Start on Thursday. Go ahead, Mike. Tell the truth.
Start on
Why
Thursday.
don't you hand me your phone, Mike? I'd like to scroll through that. I mean,
He updates the software, erase all the lies. He wants the app that just erases all the lies, at which point Mike will try to read his text and there won't be any there. Like they will have all evaporated because everything he sends into the atmosphere is an untruth.
I'm scrolling way up.
oh, you can scroll up. I don't care.
I see a lot of long texts on that chain.
Well, yesterday I asked him if he was interested in certain guests, so that was probably the longest.
Who'd you
the longest
promise?
time. I didn't promise him anyone.
Mojo?
I just yeah, Golick.
Greg Cote has a back in my day ready. I am very excited to hear that. We will get to these texts in a moment. I wanted to ask the shipping container, and by the way, the audience vetoed mission control. They said you guys cannot be promoted to mission control.
Promoted?
You have to stay. That mission control sounds too competent and not scared enough. And
I mean, we haven't been to the moon in like 60 years. How competent are they over there?
put it up on the poll, Juju. How competent are they over there, those people who try to go to the moon?
Dan, was it your idea for Stugotz to originally co-host on WFAN?
No, Mike.
Yeah,
Mike.
because I'm going back to the original sin, January 15th, 2021. One of the fun things me and Dan discussed
way
is how
back,
great
man.
it would be if I
I
co-hosted
said
one of-
Thursday, Mike. I mean, jeez. I haven't told a lie since Thursday.
I mean, he's only doing what you wanted from these texts that I'm reading right now. It's
Well,
all
this
your
is- this
idea.
is
Oh,
one-
Dan's happy for me. He knows. Like, it means something to me. I'm not taking anyone's job. I'm going up there for a couple of days, having some fun, going to spread some Stugotz all over WFAN. And if they offer me a job, we'll cross that bridge once we get to it. I mean, but Dan's happy. He knows it means something to me. I'm filling in for Boomer.
You and I would
mean,
have a blast, buddy. Come on, let's do this.
Spread some Stugotz all over FAN. Sounds like STD.
You're right.
Put it. How? Go ahead and read the original, the ground zero of first text over there. That because Gio has claimed that Stugotz has begged. This is publicly. I don't know Gio. I've not talked to Gio, but Gio is quoted as saying Stugotz has been begging to be on WFAN for a long time.
Actually, some of these text messages are kind of cute. You would not know it by his general care for the job, but he's actually proud of the stuff that he's done here. Yeah, he's like, we're about to do some cool stuff. We've accomplished stuff. Not to brag too much, but we're about to do some big stuff. It's actually pretty cool to see the history of Meadowlark through his prism.
It's called a pitch, Mike.
Have you guys, I want to ask Cote this as someone who has covered soccer locally since the Fort Lauderdale Strikers. Have any of you here seen at any point our city wallpapered by an athlete the way Messi is on every bus and every bus stop? I'm assuming that's Adidas. I don't think that's Inter Miami. I think that's Adidas that's doing that. But have you guys ever seen an athlete in this town? It's been painted pink by everywhere I look. Messi's face is somewhere, and it's an extraordinary cost to paint our city that way.
When LeBron got here, was there a similar vibe?
Not like this. There were murals. There were some murals, but
Right.
it wasn't what I'm presently seeing. Like, I don't know if you guys can remember an athlete arriving, because to me it feels almost like I'm driving around and it feels like Argentina in some of the places where I'm like, this is an overwhelming amount of, I'm seeing this dude's face everywhere from one day to the next.
And it isn't just buses and billboards. It's walls of buildings, like murals of him on walls that are, 50 feet tall. I mean, it's incredible.
It's Apple, it's Adidas, it's MLS. I think very little of it is actually coming out of Inter Miami's marketing budget. You're talking about some of the biggest, most powerful brands on the planet seizing on an opportunity, and so far, it's working out for all the brands involved.
When you sign him, though, when you get him, part of what you're getting is free marketing. I mean, it's Messi with endorsements.
Well, there are a couple of local establishments getting free marketing. I have enjoyed photoshopping Lionel Messi running with wings in his hand.
I told you that at the Hard Rock. There's a chicken sandwich, the Messi chicken sandwich.
So that is
he cooks it for you and he serves it to you.
That is actually one of the few legitimate endorsement deals when it comes to Messi hawking food. And from what I understand, that one campaign has received billions upon billions of impressions.
I don't know how to anymore do calculations on ratings. So what I'm about to say to you that I'm just taking off the internet, I have no way of quantifying, and I don't know if it's true. So you guys please help me decipher what I'm about to read to you. Because his unveiling was said to have done, and again, I'm saying said to have done because a lot of people lie to you now with the ratings. You can't almost trust anybody who's releasing information because it's so hard to measure. But his unveiling, viewed globally, was said to have had 3.5 billion streams. The Super Bowl's 115 million. How is that possible? Can that number possibly be right?
Impressions, so it takes into account people watching it repeatedly.
Right. Yeah. YouTube. I think that was the YouTube
but
number.
Still, the number, again, I'm going to say that again, 3.5 billion versus the Super Bowl's 150, whatever million. I'm guessing it's not apples to apples because of just video streaming versus an exclusive rights broadcast on network television. So the math is different. But to put in that context without any ability to quantify the numbers, saying Messi's unveiling is that much larger than the Super Bowl?
Yeah, you haven't been living under a rock. You know this guy's the biggest thing on the planet, right?
I know, but the Super Bowl's not small.
Yeah,
but
most
it's
people,
so distinctly American.
Yeah.
But as you pointed out also, a lot of people, their streaming stuff put into that number, and a lot of people just watch the Super Bowl on TV, and that's it,
That's the big difference for me between what's happening with Messi and what happened in 2010 when LeBron came here, is that one is a huge story in America and one is a huge story worldwide. I don't think there's a borough on this entire planet where Messi isn't being talked about in some form, because soccer has a reach, unlike American football, 100-fold.
Billy, who is a new father. Once again, congratulations on that. I asked him on the way in after walking past all of Stugotz's cigarettes and cigarette butts, how's fatherhood treating you? And he said, chaotic, and that he thought about watching last night
I did.
the Women's World Cup at 3 a.m.
I did think about. I was up, so I said, you know what? We're going to talk about this. I'm up. Why not put it on? And then I realized that's probably not the best remedy for sleepless children is turning on the television with lots of bright lights and noise and all that. So then I just quickly checked my phone and I saw it was 0-0. I'm like, I'm good. Like I'm fine. I don't need to do that.
Well, your analysis to me was not only did I not see it, I didn't miss anything. It was 0-0, and as far as I can tell, what has happened?
Well,
here,
I can tell you what I saw, Dan. You want me to tell you? I'll tell you
Please.
straight from the horse's mouth over here.
Good.
This is what
I'd
saw.
rather not paraphrase you.
Yeah.
I would rather you say it yourself.
Well, I get up and it's like 3 a.m. and I'm there changing diapers, trying to calm down children, make them go back to sleep, tuck them into bed, do all this stuff. There's this big World Cup game, do or die elimination game, so we were told. So I think this is a big thing. The U.S. has to win this game. Everyone in the world will be watching. Forget the Messi numbers. Everyone's going to be watching this, even though it's 3 a.m. And, maybe if you want to grow soccer in America, don't have games at 3 a.m. But that's a story for another day.
They are trying to grow it
Bingo.
elsewhere.
I'm just saying. If you want to grow soccer in America, don't put the games on at 3 a.m. when they're impossible to watch.
You guys would have enjoyed
Well
Stugotz.
programmed to me.
You guys would have so enjoyed Stugotz and Cote talking right before the show started, both of them agreeing, why isn't every time zone on my time zone?
Great
Both of
question.
them were just saying, why is it not 9:28 in the morning everywhere right now?
But no one has a good answer. Like,
There
why
is a
is it
good-
not
there- no,
9:29
there-
everywhere
no.
on the
'Cause it's
planet
dark
right
somewhere.
now?
The ultimate East Coast bias.
There are time zones.
a good answer.
Time zones, I can explain it to you. You will stop. You will drift off and not listen to the explanation. But please, Billy, so that I don't paraphrase you.
So then I go to my phone and I see it's 0-0-0-0, some people call it. And I'm like, doesn't seem like I missed much. So then I start seeing, well, what's the buzz? What are people talking about this game? Then I saw someone call the man of the match the post because the ball hit the post. Portugal hit the post. And if it would have gone in, I guess the U.S. would have been eliminated. And then all the commentators were just complaining about the Team USA dancing and celebrating after this 0-0 nothing.
And then everyone just got angry at the U.S. team.
Yeah, everybody got angry.
So Billy's talking about putting babies back to sleep late at night. No one wants to be there. It's a tough spot to be in as a parent. What's your method, Billy? Are you a little bouncer? You get him on the shoulder, a little bounce. What's like if you could stand up, maybe give us a little walkthrough exactly the.
You want me to stand up and show you?
I'd say there's two methods to this. There's a bounce, and then there's a sway. So you can be a side to side guy, and sway the baby back to sleep?
We have a room full of
or it's a
expertise
bounce?
there.
I'm more of a bouncer. This
Have
is
you
me.
guys ever put the baby in the car? Because
The car is money.
yeah, Rachel really liked motion. It would always put her to sleep, and so that was our trick when she was growing up.
You would just drive around with the baby in the car as opposed
That's a popular move.
No, we just lock her in the car. It's very quiet in there.
We've got a room full of experts back there. Greg, Cote, and Stugotz are too old to remember what it was like to rock a baby to sleep.
Roy's a bouncer. I can see it.
Yeah, hat on the shoulder and bouncing around, walking around the entire house. Yeah,
The whole house.
yeah, the entire
Different
house.
rooms. I like to stay in one room because you don't want to. Doors are loud.
Do you sing? Do you hum? Do you have a go-to song?
Yeah. I was a big Barney, I love you. I love
Ooh, boy, what an annoying song.
you. What?
Yeah,
The baby's going, shut up already.
Billy, what is your method? Since you weren't willing to, and yes, Chris Cote tossing you something and you just completely sabotaged what he was doing.
Well, no, I was asking if he wants me to like physically show. I was looking
could
around to
just
see if there's
answer.
Or
something
just
that I
talk,
can grab.
or
He
just
said,
talk.
"Let's show me how to do it." So I'm seeing
wanna
all
lift
we have
me?
over there. No, I can't. Lift.
That'd
Want
be
me to
great.
sleep?
Well, the thing is, Dan.
It would be
My
great
legs wrapped
It
around
would be
his
great
body.
if he was so good at it that he picked you up and you immediately
I
fell
could put Chris to
asleep.
sleep. I could put Chris to sleep if I had to. I do a little humming too. Do you guys do a humming? Sometimes like there's like the lullabies, people sing songs.
So you don't want to go full lyric. Are you not confident? Are you insecure to sing in front of your child?
It's not the singing. It's that I'm also not I'm not humming tunes of songs that you would normally sing.
You're doing like
to a
baseball
baby.
tonight. You're like, dun, dun, dun,
No, I was actually doing an Enrique Iglesias and Gente de Zona song, and I just go oh.
This is nice.
The voice of an angel.
Beautiful.
I'm getting
Yeah, but it's
sleepy.
by no means a lullaby. But I just over and over again, and it's like not an appropriate song to be
It's a
singing.
sensual song,
Yeah,
correct?
exactly right. But the beat is just.
The Iglesias don't sing any other kind of song except sensual songs.
The thing about Two Kids that I'm learning is that like before, we as parents had the advantage, and now we don't have the advantage
You're
anymore.
still playing man defense, though.
No.
That's what people like to say to parents. Two parents, two
No,
kids, you're
because
playing man.
these
One
kids-
more and you're playing zone.
They have so much more energy than I do. So like they have the upper hand in every situation. Like they're in charge, and I just have to kind of trick them into doing what I want them to do at this point. And one of them is like 3 weeks old, which is crazy, but he's already outsmarting me.
Mike, are you a bouncer? Are you a swayer? Are you a singer? Or were
I'm
you?
a rocker. I'm a rock to
Nice.
sleep. Two different directions. I get in the rocking chair and I rock. So like you're getting all angles.
That's the
here.
move. You need to have multiple motions at the same time. So like you can kind of do this, but like also do something like
Telling you guys, it's
I
right
get
here.
like
It's
like
just
leg
a bounce.
workout. Like yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
you
a
gotta
whole
bounce.
thing.
It's just a bounce, guys. You guys are overcomplicating it. It's just a bounce.
Juju, put it on the poll, please, and give me what the choices are here at LeBatard Show. How do you rock a baby? Best way to rock a baby to sleep? Put them in the car by themselves.
Yep. Lock the doors.
Bouncer, swayer, rocker,
Or like a combo.
singer,
Sensual songs.
singer of sensual
Or baseball
songs,
tonight theme.
or the baseball tonight theme. Yes.
That's a
You
long
hump
poll.
that?
So great. Yeah. That's how Kirchin did it. I mean,
For me, it was like bum 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 bum
Put it on the poll, Juju, at
bum.
LeBatard Show. Did Kirkshin rock his children to sleep to the baseball tonight theme song?
Kirkshin
Wait a
kept
minute,
stats
that's
of his
the
diapers.
NBA.
Yeah, no, I mix them all in there.
Never come in to your city if you want a little zing in your sang sang.
Can you guys get up on the screen for me, because Cody evidently did not see this. Jimmy Butler in China. Cody, you have not seen any of the footage from China. I have talked before. I imagine the audience at large is with me on the idea of nobody has had the star turn in basketball without winning a championship that Jimmy Butler has had in his 30s. This is a stardom story that doesn't have a precedent. And as people were awed by the size of the crowds for Jimmy in China, I don't know if people had the thought I did. I wonder how many had the thought I did, which is, yeah, it's communism. Those people don't have freedom. Young people in China, I think the unemployment rate is over 20%. Those crowds may indeed all be there because Jimmy Butler is that famous in China, or they may be there because that's the way China would prefer all of that look when there is star power in China. And I understand the NBA has done a great job of growing over there globally, but to just see Jimmy Butler not play, to see Jimmy Butler wave, I'm skeptical basically of any video that comes out of a communist country. Always, when I see video, I'm like, what's orchestrated there? Those people aren't free. Those are not free people.
It should be noted that Jimmy is the face of Li Ning, and his current footwear deal is the same company that did Wade's signature deal. So as big as Jimmy is over here, he is quite literally the face of an entire brand over there. So it makes sense. He's actually bigger over there than he's here.
We're looking at a propaganda video, quite frankly, for the Chinese government. I mean, it suits them to have adulation on an athlete who sells their sneakers. You know, I mean, I guarantee you the government arranged for a crowd that impressive to be there.
I don't know. I just am telling the audience that whenever I see video, I'm instantaneously skeptical. What Mike is saying is true. I know Jimmy Butler is very popular over there. I'm just saying that anything that comes from a communist country, almost immediately, I assume propaganda and then work my way back from there.
I mean, I think you're safe to assume that, but those don't look like plants to me. They have time and time again had massive crowds for NBA superstars that go there during the offseason. It looks like an absolute circus.
Well, basketball arguably is the most popular sport in China, more so than soccer. And Jimmy Butler's a star, but I think the fascination with American athletes and with the NBA is such that a much lesser star than Jimmy Butler can go over there and with a shoe deal and draw a damn impressive crowd. And part of that is that you have so many hundreds of millions of people in China that, you know, you can draw a crowd for just about anything, I would imagine.
So you're saying anyone could do it?
I think
Cody Zeller could go
Think
there.
the Greg Cote show could draw a crowd like that?
I think we could. Yeah, I think we could go there. We could do an episode from there and draw a
happens
big
in this
crowd.
country.
Do
They
it.
got 20,000 plus at Drive Pink Stadium to watch Messi come out during a rainstorm and hold up a pink shirt.
Right.
The crowds were much smaller for Duncan Robinson.
I got my dad, that kind of thing. Yeah, you never know.
That's
Ray.
right. All my catchphrases will be said in Chinese from now on. And you know it. How do you say "and you know it" in Chinese? Any
Don't
idea?
try.
I think it's Mandarin also.
Is it okay?
Go sit in the penalty box.
Oh, wow.
Mandarin,
yeah.
Chinese.
Go
whatever.
no. Yeah, don't make it worse. Go
Oh,
just
Mandarin. I meant Mandarin.
It's about to be a 5-minute major.
just go sit.
I
in the
love a
pen-
Mandarin orange, by the way. Really juicy.
That's
Easy to
true.
peel as well.
Yeah.
That's the original cutie, the Mandarin orange.
Top 5 orange?
Let's
or-
put that on
I
the
think
poll.
so.
Is the Mandarin orange the original cutie?
A little sweeter, too, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, you can peel it in a heartbeat.
No seeds either. It's amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's
I would
great.
guess Natalie would.
Can almost eat it in one bite.
Tangerine.
Smaller than a tennis ball.
One bite.
Yeah.
Don't you break them up
It's
into
like
little?
this.
You
It's like
break.
this.
I would
the
love
little-
to see you
little
try.
slices.
You break the little
Yeah.
pieces.
Can you eat a
off.
Mandarin orange?
Who
in
eats
one
an
bite?
orange?
Yeah.
You eat it like an apple?
Give me a Mandarin orange right now. I will eat
Taylor,
it in
go
one
get
bite.
a Mandarin orange, and we will see if Greg Cote can eat it.
not
in,
even a question.
He said almost a bite.
in one. No, we're gonna.
I gotta
No,
see this now.
now
No,
we've got to
one bite.
all see it.
Could you chill it though? Because if it's got a little refrigeration
Greg,
to it,
I'm
it's
with
much
you. You want a
easier to
cold
digest.
orange?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will ask you again to leave,
Yeah.
please.
What am I
It's a
doing?
2-minute.
Well, who's going to eat the oranges? then?
Who needs
Yeah.
me?
The orange,
Yeah, what
I
do you-
promise you, given the efficiencies of Metal Arc Media, will not be here in the next 2 minutes.
Oh, that's a good point.
I know a lot of people, Stugotz, have been talking about the running back situation in the NFL. I did enjoy Chris Cote becoming the face of get your ass out there and work at a game for a
Not a
living.
flattering picture we put out there. God, do I hate that picture.
Terrible.
But for all of the conversations about, hey, the running backs are being paid less than the kickers, that doesn't seem terribly fair. I think the greatest example I have for you of holy shit, this running back situation is really screwed up. Dalvin Cook is available, but not only is Dalvin Cook available, and I would have imagined at any time people would want Dalvin Cook. He's one of the best athletes I've ever seen out of Florida State. He's in the top 5 with like Deion Sanders and Jalen Ramsey, Peter Warrick. The thing that I think is happening there that is emblematic of the running back payment structure is really screwed up is everyone in the AFC East is interested in him, and his price isn't going up.
Right.
That never happens. Like
no leverage.
But what do you mean no leverage? What do you mean? Everybody in the same division wants him. He's meeting with all of them. Buffalo, the Jets, New England, and the Dolphins. And I'm assuming that all these other visits are just to make the Dolphin offer go up because he wants to be in Miami. But the offer doesn't go up. And I'm like, Dalvin Cook's available. The entire AFC East wants him. Why can't he get more money? It's Dalvin Cook. He's pretty good.
Over the hill.
I mean, he's a guy who had 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. I mean, he started every game last year. I can't answer that question for you. But that's why the running backs are in such a terrible, terrible spot here. Because you don't have the leverage to get yourself. You have leverage, but you don't have the leverage that you want, which allows you to get more money merely by flirting with the Jets.
He also had off-field stuff that's pretty murky.
When has that ever stopped football teams?
When they're trying to negotiate a price and someone's on an open market.
When it's a running back?
Yeah.
Because
That's true. That too.
The murky stuff doesn't keep them from welcoming him into the building and interviewing him. It's when he asks for a certain amount of money that it becomes murkier.
Yeah, it prevents them from paying $50 million.
It's less murky, cheaper than it is expensive. It is looking like Greg Cote is going to be right. He has come into the room very confidently. Hidden in his fist is a mandarin orange. You can begin peeling that now, and we will like to watch you see if you can indeed eat that in a...
Jesus, just took
You
a
just
bit out
bite
of
it? A bit?
With the rind.
What's the temp like on that thing?
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah.
Nice and chilled.
Yeah.
Are we
Like, I like
100%, Greg, that that's a mandarin? I just don't want you to be kind of put in a spot where you said you could eat a mandarin in one bite and they didn't give you a
Wow,
mandarin.
you peeled
know?
that thing fast.
That's the joy of a mandarin.
Yeah.
You know, you can. Well,
Get right to it.
Some
Yeah.
say it's the original cutie.
All right, down the hatch.
Are you ready?
One bite?
Let's put it on the poll, please. Juju at LeBatard Show. Do you peel an orange by taking an original bite? Because I find the rind bitter and unpleasant.
It is.
For
It's a little bitter
for the palate. But
Yeah.
go ahead and let's see.
It's a big bite, man.
But he can eat it in a single bite, I suspect. Let's go ahead and do that and see how this goes, and welcome in Lucy and Brad Williams with better timing than the opening segment when I was weeping on the microphone.
He did it.
He did do it.
Good job, Greg.
He's
We're
not
proud
done
of you.
yet.
What a
Not
payoff.
done
I
yet.
don't know why.
Not much of a
Excellent.
payoff, but he gets to be
Saddest
right.
payoff in the history of content.
I mean, he was shadow boxing.
Wow.
Wow.
Pelican.
More, please. That was excellent.
Okay, let's get him more.
He's gonna choke. Don't.
Brad,
How many can you do in one segment?
It's already been a day.
No, it's great.
Brad, you can help us as somebody who has expertise navigating comedy and where the potholes are. He also came in saying, "Hey, I have learned how to say 'and you know it' in Mandarin."
And you know it.
And should we let him do that? Because
Listen, all I know is the last time I was in this studio, there was a blackout. Oh yeah. And now I'm back, so I just hope nothing disastrous happens to anyone on this show today. You know,
anything else?
never have me on this show again. Never. Massive blackout. Close family member passes away. If I'm back on the show, your team tells me, all right, do you have all your affairs in order? Maybe you guys should have your affairs in order. I'm so sorry to be back here and causing this.
Go sit in the penalty box. Go ahead and just get out of here.
5 minutes for saying I'm sorry.
We are. It's not for the I'm sorry. It's for killing my brother.
Just 5?
Just a 5-minute major. It's a major.
I think that should be more.
And a $50 fine.
A 10-minute misconduct.
Just get out of here. I want to.
Just got here.
I want us to play some sound here for you because I can't help but enjoy. And Paul Pierce, thank you for this because it is rare in the modern age of where it is and how it is that athletes are paid for there to be a blood feud that has so much depth to it that the Celtics and the Heat are going to hate each other for the rest of time. I want to take you through the history of how we arrive at Paul Pierce saying if Lillard arrives in Miami, they will get knocked out in the first round, and how it is that we arrive at Paul Pierce saying flatly, I'm better than Dwayne Wade. Imagine how many championships I would have won if I played with Bosh and LeBron, because this is a story.
He had a chance with Garnett and Ray Allen. They won one.
Oh no, but this is one of the reasons that I find this fascinating in the era that changed basketball, that arrives with Lillard now making the mess because the athlete has that power. This is a story of architecture. Like when you go back to Paul Pierce is going to have that bitterness to his grave. And it begins with Dwayne Wade getting knocked out by his Celtics in a series where Wade averaged like close to 35 points a game and said afterward, I'm never going out like this again. Said in the press conference, this is the last time I lose like that. When you think of that Boston team, it's what kept LeBron from things because they built the first team. Pierce had it and then won and spent the entire summer in Vegas relaxing, like getting massages in Vegas because they won one. And while he was getting massages in Vegas, Wade did the plotting architecturally that will make Pierce hate him for the rest of time because he stole what could have been more Paul Pierce greatness while Paul Pierce literally slept on a massage table. Because the architecture of that is where Pierce got beat. Because, yeah, Pierce probably would have won those championships and be regarded in the realm of Wade as a champion without us laughing at him if instead of doing what he did for years with Antoine Walker, where we just laughed at those teams, they had managed to build a super team that was stronger than the one LeBron and Wade had to build to overcome their super team.
And don't forget the Brooklyn aspect of it, too. okay, you're going to take my model, I'm going to take your model and do it better. And now my SI cover has become a thing of a source of comedy. It's basically a meme. Jason Kidd, Joe Johnson, and Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. He failed at that too, getting bounced in the first round by Dwayne Wade's Miami Heat.
Jealousy is such a bad trait. You know, for Paul Pierce to be doing what he's doing, and it so obviously is jealousy, it truly is unbecoming. And there's not many people on earth, and very few in Boston, who think that Paul Pierce had a better career than
It's
Wade.
so great, though.
Oh, it's fun.
So great.
I'm certain some people in Boston actually agree with Paul Pierce.
But
Yeah.
Paul Pierce is better than he was a good player, better than one
great player.
championship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I
All right.
gotta go.
I thought you were.
I was worried about
No,
it.
no,
I
no,
thought
no,
you
no,
were
no.
going somewhere
I'm
else
not
with that.
saying he's better than Dwayne Wade, but it is perfectly reasonable for him to think that, hey, if I had a little more help at times, I could have won. Like, it's not crazy what he's saying. He's just saying, hey, if I played for Bosch for these 2 years, I probably had more than one. Like, I don't see it as that crazy.
I like when he said, put Shaq on my team, we would have won more, and people just forget Shaq was on his team, and they did not win.
I want the jealousy from my athlete to be that overt, and I want the embers to burn so hot forevermore that years into your retirement, because he's a Hall of Famer, you're still out here trying to win not a game, but an argument.
Right.
But he's being laughed at.
Trying to sway.
Yeah.
He's being laughed at every time he tries to go down that path by neutrals. It's not just Paul Pierce sucks chants at the Kaseya Center. It's Jalen Rose laughing at him on ESPN television when he tries to compare himself to Dwayne Wade. Or when he takes pot shots at the Miami Heat, most recently on the Showtime Basketball show, getting dismissed by other people on the dais. So, like, he's become a joke.
You can laugh at him and call the Hall of Famer a joke. I want more of that. I want more guys in retirement.
Well, it doesn't seem like he's going to stop, so you're in good shape.
To be so bothered by the way it ended, that you had a great career, but it's not enough. You still want to convince fans, hey, I lost at architecture, not at basketball. I lost at the building of basketball teams, not at being better at basketball.
I want more of that so I can laugh at him more. Why? Because it's hilarious. That's why.
Well, then laugh.
Do you laugh? Do you know how to laugh?
Yeah, I know. I'm laughing.
It's a scary laugh.
It was a scary laugh.
It's like someone who's never laughed before.
It's like Elon Musk. It's like DeSantis. Yeah.
It was it was like Roy. It was the scary laugh of if we heard that at midnight in a cornfield, it would be horrifying, and it would be someone who was trying to learn in the dark how to laugh. Someone who was practicing the feeling of joy. And we have aliens now, right? It's how an alien would try to replicate a human laughing.
Right. Artificial intelligence laugh.
Non-human biologics.
Yeah.
Are we having that pilot
2023.
on the testified about aliens on tomorrow? Because I do believe that's a story that hasn't gotten enough coverage. I thought that would be something that would get our attention.
But
But
we have
it
alien
got-
bodies.
It got more coverage when we didn't know if they were here or not than it has since we realized they're actually here.
It's
weird.
I've had a long-standing theory that we don't have any comprehension of this. We literally can't deal with the notion that we're not the center of the universe, that we're not the only ones, and so we're just choosing to kind of ignore it because actually facing it makes us ask ourselves all sorts of questions about our deities, about our purpose, and we'd rather not do that. We'd rather watch Super Leagues on Apple TV.
It's 110 degrees outside. We don't care about aliens at all. We got our own problems.
we didn't care about 110 degrees 9 degrees ago. Like, we didn't care about that. That was happening, and we were talking about the aliens then and not paying attention to the climate. Now we're paying attention to the climate, and we're like, oh, you want to live here? Maybe you can, because you can adapt to climate better than we can.
How smart are they if they want to come to Earth? How intellectual are
Thank
they
you.
if they chose this place?
Well, it's like in Signs how they came to Earth, but they didn't account for water. Even though most of the Earth is covered in water, they didn't account for the crazy
Spoiler
heat.
alert.
We can't give away signs now? Swing away.
You guys keep changing the spoiler rules on me. I really don't know. Somebody needs to come up with a handbook of 9 years, 10 years, 4 years.
Here's a handbook. Don't give away the end to Succession 5 days after the finale. That's all you got.
I don't believe that is. I believe 5 days after a show everyone is watching. I believe if I'd come on after Game of Thrones 5 days later and talked about Game of Thrones, that everybody would have said there are no spoilers there. 5 days?
No, 5 days. 5 days is too soon.
There.
I would say 30 days. No, I would say a month. You're safe, yeah. A month.
Days.
No, but at least a week. You got to wait a week.
Wait, there's got to be a different rule for the shows everyone's watching. Like the spoiler alert, it can't be the same if there are these cultural touchstone shows that
tier talk. Spoiler tier talk. Like, for example, when we were talking about Paul Pierce, spoiler alert, is on Stars and Mars. But I didn't want to talk about that in case people haven't gotten to that episode yet. And I didn't see last night's episode, so I don't know if he's still on Stars on Mars or not. That's why I didn't bring it up, Dan, because I was trying to be respectful of all the fans of Stars on Mars out there.
And while Succession is a very good show, probably on the Mount Rushmore of recent TV dramas, it didn't dominate the pop culture conversation.
It's a weird Mount Rushmore.
It didn't dominate the conversation. We go Sopranos, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones. Succession's not on there.
Sopranos recent.
But if people don't care about it that much, then Dan shouldn't care about spoiling a show that people don't care about.
People cared about it, just not tier 1.
it's got to be where Mike calls the spoiler alert.
Yes,
Mike gets to decide.
What's getting lost here? Like it's through my prism and my prism only.
So we check with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check.
Zagak, or however you say that in Mandarin.
Zagaki.
Do you want to try and you know it?
It's very brief. That's what I love about the Chinese people. They don't take a long time to get to the point.